What sends me to the sin bin most often would be, just recently would be elbows and as well as low blocks, I think.
Well, tonight I was blocking out of play, blocking out of bounds, yeah. But usually I don't get sent there.
Alrighty, we are here with Grief Erickson of Rock City Roller Derby, the penalty box overlord.
You should for Goon, but you know.
Goon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's a reference for anyone with history buff. So Leif Erickson was a famous Viking explorer in the turn of the first millennium. You know, new Derby, it just seemed to fit very well as the person who was going to be punishing the people in the box. The armor, actually, I already had. Bought it years ago, was going to use it for costumes of some sort, and when we were discussing kind of the Derby, you know, my Derby persona, I was like, oh, that works with it. And, you know, originally I briefly toyed with being a ref and got a helmet, and then realized that my skating style is a little more lumbering than graceful, so but figured, well, I can put it to good use. And I think it's I'm gonna use a bad professional wrestling cliche and say it's me turned up a notch. You know, I mean, I couldn't do the job part, managing the penalty box, if I was actually as crazy as I'm acting when I'm running around, you know, talking to the kids and trying to get people excited before the game. But, you know, that part, you know, that's the having fun, and it definitely is easier to do those sort of things when you're dressed up. Yeah, I mean, at the very least, it's definitely opened me up in terms of just, I guess, socially. Been, you know, having to, you know, interact with a lot of new people. And it's a, I'd say, confidence builder. People having to train people when we have done away games, knowing that I can handle those things. It's nice to be able to walk into situations and get used to, yeah, I got it.
Cool.
We had, I think it was our season closer last year. I have to say, I have never had to leap out of the way of so many low-flying skaters as I did. Had the occasional just... Some of the things people will say when they get into the box is sometimes extremely funny. Just they'll stop, wonder why I'm here. Usually something along those lines. I mean, sometimes there were things that I can't really repeat, but, you know, it's just kind of a continuous interacting with people. So, for me, the more memorable stuff is a lot of times outside of the box with kind of playing around with the fans, and I still get amazed when I have little kids walking up to me. I mean, I understand people wanting to take photos just because of this, but little kids handing me the program and asking me to sign my photo still surprises the heck out of me. It's what? Really? But no, the skaters, you know. You know, I've got asked occasionally by people, so, you know, what's your favorite team or favorite skater? And I would never, within the league, you know, like asking for your favorite child. You're not going to do that. The regular people have been great. It's RCRD is so lucky to have such a large dedicated staff. I mean, when we first started, I think I'm technically the first dedicated NSO. I think before we even had bouts, I was already, you know, definitely before any of our home bouts. My first bouts were away. And a lot of these beginning leagues, you'd show up and they had barely enough skaters to skate, much less staff it on top of that. And you'd have their NSO staff were either skaters who couldn't skate because they had hurt themselves, or I went to one bout where I walk up to do the box, and they're like, and one of the skaters goes, "This is my dad, I just pulled him out of the audience." And, you know, I now have 10 minutes to explain the entire job to someone who's watched 2 bouts maybe, and is usually screaming at his daughter, and I had to train, I had to train him not to cheer for his daughter while he was doing the job. It's so great to have, people who I don't have to, every time we come, train them again. Just know they know the job, they know what they do. It makes it so much easier for me. I will occasionally, you see when I actually have time to see what's going on, you'll see some kind of incredible hit, and you have to go, you just have to think to yourself, wow, that was really good, and try not to react. I always make sure, even with blowing the horn or jipping around, it's always done before the bout, after the bout. It's never something I'm going to do during a game. And if I do it, I make sure if I'm doing it for a team, I'm doing it for every team that's playing. I'm a fan of Derby, not a fan of any particular team. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm doing this, we volunteer because we enjoy it. And I think that's an important thing. I can remind myself occasionally, why do you do this? And, for me, besides the fact that I can have fun, I can wear something like this and run around and have people point and shoot photos and laugh at it, but at the same time, I can enjoy that. I can enjoy knowing that I'm doing something that I'm good at, and be involved in this whole thing and watching it grow from the beginning when they had, a small group of girls skating around in a little concrete pad with no heat to what we're doing now is incredible to see. I'm not sure. It has changed a lot. I was saying, just going from that one team, just having almost barely enough people to skate, going through that whole, and how quickly we've gone from that to 3 entire home teams, and becoming with an apprentice, well on track to hopefully becoming full with the, it's amazing how quick, and I think there's been a lot of growing pains, but I think it's, overall it should be a good thing. I'm interested to see where things go. During a game, and if I do it, I make sure if I'm doing it for a team, I'm doing it for every team that's playing. I'm a fan of Derby, not a fan of any particular team. While I'm doing my job.